Welcome to the Flora podcast, a place where we help you create a life you're excited about. Welcome back to the podcast. Today is a walk and talk episode about personal development. So before we get into today's topic, I do want to kind of make a little bit of an announcement for those of you who might be new here. I recently got an email asking about what my focus is because she said, you talk about decluttering, you talk about your 1 degree shift, you talk about business, like what are you all about? So if you haven't listened to the welcome episode, I highly recommend that you do so. Just scroll all the way down until you see the welcome episode or episode number 1. But for those of you who are new here, I have a book out called The 1 Degree Shift. And the 1 Degree Shift essentially helps you figure out where you're at right now in your life, being honest, no holds barred, not where you think you are, but where you actually are. And then it helps you figure out what you want and where you want to go. So basically point A and then point Z. And what I do is help clear that messy middle or help you declutter all the things that are keeping you from reaching that goal. And we accomplish this by using the 1 degree shift method. So what is the 1 degree shift method? It's essentially, again, getting clear on where you're at, where you want to be, and then asking yourself, what's one thing that I can do today to get one step closer to where I want? Well, the reason why most people aren't where they want to be is because there's clutter. And there's 9 types of clutter. I have a whole other podcast about the 9 types of clutter that get in the way of us getting what we want. And so frequently you will hear me talk about decluttering. It's just another word for, clearing that messy middle, clearing limitations, clearing mental blocks, spiritual blocks, physical blocks, all the things. That's just my lingo, if you will, of how I like to describe what it is that we do. Now, my programs are called Align. I have a program for business owners that is business focused. I also have an Align program for women who don't want to focus on business stuff. So you might not have a business, you might be a stay-at-home mom raising babies, you might be an empty nester, you might be retired, you might be building a business, but you don't want to focus on business stuff with me. So I have 2 Align programs, one for business owners to focus on their business and one just for regular life coaching for women. What Align does is it helps take those pieces that I talked about in my book, where you are, where you want to be, and that decluttering process, and it truly helps you in this program. It helps you to align your life, basically to align where you're at to where you want to be, and we bridge that gap and we close the gap in a much quicker way together than if you were to do it on your own without these added extra tools. And so this podcast truly is designed to help you align your life, to help you figure out where you're actually at. Because we're human. We like to sometimes kid ourselves in thinking where we're at isn't that bad, or it's worse than it actually is, and that we're so far away from what we want, and oh my gosh, we're never gonna get there, and it seems like it's taking forever. So we take off those rose-colored glasses and we really look at life for what it really is. Again, not what we think it is, but what it actually is. And then we get crystal clear on what we actually want, not what we think our parents want for us or what our spouse wants for us or what we thought we wanted from magazines or whatever. We take the gloves off and we get real hot and heavy with this process, and we get really honest with ourselves about what we really truly want. And then this is where the beautiful thing happens. Then you start clearing that messy middle. You start clearing the distractions. You start clearing the clutter and start simplifying your life, and you start bridging that gap so that what you want comes quicker to you. And again, that is helping you align your life. So that's my deal. I have a book called The 1 Degree Shift. It lays out the pieces of the 1 degree shift method, and the 1 degree shift method helps you align your life and or your business to one that you absolutely love and are absolutely obsessed with, where so much so that people stop you and say, hey, what are you doing? I want some of that. So my programs range anywhere from $99 all the way up to several $1,000s. So just depending on your level of, what you want to do and how you want to work with me. So all the links for all of this are in the show notes. If you want to check out what I do, you can kind of pick around and look and see, and I'm here for you. If you have any questions, please send me an email, flora@florasage.com. So with that said, yes, when I create these podcast episodes, it can be touching on any one of those things. And what I have come to do in the last several weeks is preface each of my episodes in saying if this is a personal decluttering or a business decluttering series, so that if you have a business, you can be like, oh yes, I want to listen to this one. If you don't have a business, then don't listen to it. The personal decluttering, I truly believe, can help anyone, whether you have a business or you don't have a business. I might not always say the personal decluttering part, but if it is a business podcast, I will always preface it by saying this is a business focus podcast from here on out. So with that said, I have a fun thing that I want to share with you that I heard, I want to say several weeks ago, and I just keep thinking about it. And so I wanted to share it with you because why not, right? I watched this video on TikTok, and I can't remember the name of the creator. I actually went this morning to try to find it, and I couldn't find the video anywhere. I know I liked it. I thought I shared it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I don't know if it was taken down or what. But essentially what this woman was saying was that she treats her life like a social media algorithm. So essentially, when you go on to, let's just say, TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, and you watch a video, you are engaging in the video. Maybe you like it, maybe you comment, maybe you share it. So that tells that social media platform, ooh, I like this, I want more of it. So what happens is that algorithm gives you more of it. Maybe it was a cat video. Maybe it was a hamster video. Maybe it was the Chuck the hedgehog, or not the hedgehog, Chuck the groundhog or something. I can't remember what he is. Anyway, he eats vegetables in front of this camera. It's adorable. So you watch it, that you are telling the algorithm by the length of time that you're watching the video that, yes, I want more of this. I'm engaged in this. I like this. I'm focusing my attention on this. So therefore I want more. Well, she was talking about how she's been doing that with life. Like if she doesn't want, like let's just say that you don't need to lose weight and you see these weight loss videos and whatever in your feed. What do? You don't need it, so you scroll past it. You don't even look twice at it. So the algorithm shows you that, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times over a couple weeks. And every single time you scroll past it, so the algorithm knows, well, I'm not going to show them weight loss stuff anymore because they don't need to lose weight. Okay, perfect. So she is treating her life like the algorithm. If she doesn't want to focus on something negative or she doesn't want any part of whatever that is, she just is like, nope. She doesn't give any time or attention to that particular thing. And she's like, oh my God, my life has totally changed. And I was thinking about how I talked about this in my book, The 1 Degree Shift, the law of increase. The law of increase is literally just like the algorithm. The law of increase, what you focus on, you get more of. So allow yourself this week, today, tomorrow, through next month, maybe even, start to pay attention to what you are focusing on, what you're obsessing about, what you keep ruminating about, what you keep talking about, and really allow yourself to be in that space and be in that understanding of the algorithm, be in the understanding of the law of increase. The more that you pay attention to something, the more that you get of it. This is huge. I believe I did a podcast about the stories that we tell. I've told this story many, many times, but I want you to think about the stories of your past, the stories of woe, the stories of triumph, and think of your life. Like pretend that you have a room, and in this room, it's filled with all these shelves. And on the shelves are these balloons. They're not blown up, they're just these deflated balloons, and each balloon has a label on it. So this could be the time you got your driver's license. There's another balloon, the first time you got kissed. Another balloon, your very first paycheck. Another balloon maybe has a trauma that you experienced. Another balloon maybe was a really sad, heart-wrenching moment. Every time you talk about something, think about that you're picking up that balloon and you're breathing new life into that balloon. You're reanimating that balloon. You're reanimating that story and that vibration and that frequency in your life. And you can change how the story goes by how you choose to focus on your experience. There's another story that I like to tell about these two brothers. They grew up with an alcoholic father and a drug-addicted mother. And their childhood was really, really hard, very, very challenging. 30 years later, someone interviews them, and they're twins, by the way. Someone interviews them, and one of them is a drug addict living on the streets and is just at the bottom of the barrel in their life. And the other one is a public speaker making millions of dollars, inspiring others, and he's just like, oh, so inspirational. And this interviewer says, he asks each brother the same question. He asked the successful person, hey, how did you end up doing what you're doing? Like, how did you get here? And he said, because I had an alcoholic father and a drug-addicted mother. And then the same interviewer asked the other brother, the twin, how did you end up here? And the brother gave the exact same answer. Because I had an alcoholic father and a drug-addicted mother. Every story that you tell, you can choose which side of it you're on. Yes, there are some times where life is shit. But growing up in Wisconsin, I quickly realized that shit is fertilizer for what is coming in the future. If you've ever visited a farm field or farm type country or area in the spring or the fall, you're going to smell that they spray manure on fields. And it's disgusting. It smells so bad. But the next year, they have bumper crops. They're huge, and their bounty is just ginormous. Like, they get bumper crops. That's what life is like. Sometimes we get that shit sandwich, excuse the vernacular. But always remember that when the shit happens, there is always something good that comes out of it. So I say all that to say this. I'm mirroring what that woman said. And again, I will still try to find it. And if I can find her, I will put her in the show notes. But she said, treat your life like an algorithm. Focus on what you want more of, and don't focus on what you don't want in your life. And if you do have issues or problems, get help. Find support. And again, I talk about this in my book with the law of increase. What you focus on, you get more of. I also did another podcast about how we invest our time, if we spend our time or if we invest our time. Time's going to pass by anyway. So why not work to get more of what you want? Now, some people say, well, I've been trying and it's not working. That's where I come in. That's where any other coach comes in. If you need to work with a coach, you don't have to work with me. There's tons of coaches out there. We all have our specialty. My specialty is finding out where you're actually at, where you actually want to be. And we look and we find those pieces that are cluttering up your space, cluttering up your path, your clear and concise path on how you can efficiently get from where you are to where you want to be. And it's really fun. It's really exciting. And I promise you, you're a lot closer to where you want to go than where you think you are. You are so much closer to where you want to be. So if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, I do have a special rate session going on right now. It's only $99. Click the link in the show notes. I have tons of times available. I've opened up a huge part of my calendar. And, this is my way of giving back to my community, is I truly want to help and support you figure out where you are, where you're going and help you create and collaborate with you. This is not me telling you what to do. This is a collaborative process. That's one of the things that I've heard from my clients that they absolutely love, is they're like, I love working with you because it truly is a collaboration. It's not me feeling like shit because you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this and this is what you need to do and blah, blah, blah. They're like, no, I love that we collaborate together. It's a team. And that's why a lot of people, when they start working with me, they're like, oh my God, like I want to like work with you forever. Simply because it truly is a team effort. We are meant to be in a tribe. We're not meant to do this all on our own. And that's why I've been doing what I've been doing for so long. I've been working with people for over 25 years. I do this because it's in my blood. This is my jam. This is what I love to do. So whether you want to do a single session, whether you want to just listen to these podcasts, or whether you want to do a whole year's worth of coaching with me, give yourself permission to say, where am I at? Really, truly ask yourself, where am I at? Where do I want to be? And what am I focusing on? Am I focusing on the stuff that I really don't want anymore? Or am I focusing on the stuff that is truly going to light me up and is truly going to help me create that shift in my life? Get honest with yourself, because that's the first key of change, and that 1 degree shift is getting honest. Like, take the gloves off, take the rose-colored glasses off, and say, where am I really? And what am I avoiding? And why am I avoiding it? And again, this is where I come in. I can help you create that new reality. I can help you shift the way that you're looking at things. I can help you declutter that messy middle. And part of that messy middle is the mindset, which I thought was just bullshit. I thought mindset work was just like all this woo-woo, frou-frou shit. I'm woo-woo, trust me. But that was the one piece of woo-woo that I was like, that's a little too woo-woo. But it wasn't until I started working on mindset stuff that I was like, well, holy hell, this shit really works, doesn't it? So, in any case, I'm here to help, whether it's just listening to these podcasts and sharing these podcasts with you every single week, or working with you one-on-one or in a group. It's really, it's my pleasure to help and support my community. If you're guided to work with me, if you're curious on what it's like, and you really, truly are craving that shift, click the link in the show notes. Check it out. Like I said, I have a special rate. It will be listed special rate. It will bring you straight to the appointment page. You can use it for anything. If I do it, it's fair game in these sessions. It's, you can do coaching, business mentoring, decluttering, guidance, readings, energy work, the whole shebang. So spiritual stuff, all of it. I've never done anything like this before, and I'm actually really freaking stoked about it. And I've had so many sessions already since I announced this to my list about a week ago. I'm totally geeking out, you guys. This is so fun. I might make this a regular thing. I'm not quite sure, but right now I'm just totally geeking out because I'm able to do so many different things every single day. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Because I have my group of mastermind people that are in my business mastermind program. I have my high-level business people that I coach with, and a handful of accountability clients. But these single sessions are just so fun. I hope this serves you today. I know we talked about a lot of stuff on this podcast, but this is why I'm here. Life gets messy. And I'm here to help you declutter the mess, whatever that looks like. Again, I've been doing this for 25 years. I'm a Marine. I'm the youngest of 7 girls. There really isn't anything that I haven't heard. So allow me to support you. If you have something that you want me to cover here on the podcast, let me know. Send me an email, flora@florasage.com. I am here to support my community. That is you. Another thing, I would love if you would share a review on iTunes. The more people that review this podcast, the more people this podcast will get in front of, again, via the algorithm. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast episode. All links mentioned are in today's show notes. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next episode.